Hello again, welcome. Our next talk is about how to do it differently. We are going to know projects for sustainable development in Africa. The three speakers that are joining us are three amazing young African women. And all of them, the three of them, have something big and good in common. They have the leadership of remarkable projects in their own countries. Our first guest, she's a part of the Girl Move Academy in Mozambique, and she's focused on creating social impact and promoting gender equality and community development. She's Honorina Ilka Saíde. Good morning, Honorina. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
We want to hear what you have
Thank
to
you. It's
say
a
to
pleasure
us.
to be here.
Thank you so much. So, Honorina,
Thank you for having me here. It's a big pleasure.
So I know that you have a message for us. You want to start with a message, so you can speak, please.
Thank you. Like you said, my name is Ilka Saíde, and I work with Girl Move Academy, which works in Nampula. I'm here in Nampula in the north of Mozambique, where we have our activities. Right now, I'm right here now to have this talk. And indeed, the message I do have for you is about how we can actually create change by incorporating, co-creating solutions at a grassroots level. I'm a psychologist and I'm also a Girl Move alumni. And Girl Move is a program which works with women around Mozambique, creating change around Mozambique, because we believe that we can create change that starts here and spreads to the world. And this is a little bit of what I want to speak about. So giving a general idea of what is Girl Move Academy, we work with women and we impact a group of more than 1,000 girls at 7th grade. And also we have a network of alumni of 100 Girl Movers. We are a leadership academy that works with disruptive solutions and innovative solutions through a model that is innovative, because we give new references of leaders combining different generations. We have girls who already graduated and already have this leadership spirit within them, and they just need another step to create more impact. These girls are mentors to girls who are in university, and they're in this situation. There's a lot of barriers for them to finish university and keep on with their career plan. And then we have our most vulnerable group, that are 7th grade girls who are in this age where they easily stop school and end up in child marriages or premature pregnancies. So we create this model where there are different references, and this reference system enables them to be more inspired and believe in their future, believe that they can create different impacts. And this is actually Girl Move Academy. What I want to say is, what is one of the most innovative things we do here is that we believe that solutions can be co-created. We believe that these solutions don't start with only one group, but all of us. We believe that the solutions have to come from different organizations, private organizations, public organizations, and also the community that needs the solutions to their different challenges. Answering, for example, what happened during COVID-19. Most of the world stopped, and most of the projects helping communities also stopped. But we didn't stop and came up with different solutions. We called the girls to maintain contact with them. Instead, we know that they don't have access to internet, and so they can't maintain contact with us with internet and platforms like this one. So we call them and maintain the contact with them, guaranteeing that we know what's happening in their lives. They know that they have our support, and they know that they keep learning with our support, and they know that they can count on us in every challenge along the way. And with the other groups, we also use internet platforms because they have more access to these platforms. During this, we created a lab called Changemaker Lab. And what is, in essence, the Changemaker Lab? It's a place where we test and experience different solutions to implement with the community. We co-create solutions for different necessities that this community shows, because we cannot have solutions that don't come from a grassroots level, and we can't implement solutions if the community does not feel involved in this implementation. Partner up to create with private organizations, the community, and our Go Movers. The Go Movers go to the fields, they find out what are the challenges that different communities are facing, and ask the community what are their prospects of solutions. And then they come back, design, prototype, and with the solutions that different and more advanced organizations already have, we co-create the solutions. And because we have the grassroots knowledge and the organizations have innovative methods. So we create a solution that is innovative, has the support of these organizations, and we go back to the community, present these solutions, and show the community this solution is ours. We created the solution together, and then we implement it with the community. And this way we answered a lot of challenges that also answered to a lot of the SDGs. We focus in a lot of areas depending on the necessities of each community. And in general, our message is we can create solutions starting at grassroots talents, and we can create solutions if we empower the community and start with girls. It doesn't matter the context or the vulnerability position they're on. We can create solutions and change effectively the world.
Ilka, thank you so much. You told us what you do, how you help these girls, and also the limitations with the pandemic after the COVID-19. So I ask you, what are your biggest challenge for the future?
Our biggest challenges for the future, I believe that because, like I said, we're in a vulnerable context, and Mozambique has not a lot of access to things like internet or things like platforms that allow us to be connected in this way. Our biggest challenge is to guarantee that we maintain connected to these girls, even though that we still have issues regarding to health or issues regarding to sanitation. We can still maintain contact with them and offer them the idea that they have the solution. Our biggest challenge is maintaining contact in this new reality that we believe that we have to be distant. We believe that we maybe don't have the resources to fight pandemics. But the challenge is to make them believe that even if we don't have the most advanced resources, the resources we have are valid. So the biggest challenge, I would say, is to create ownership in our community.
This is more like a personal question, but it has to be with what you do. How do you think you are going to feel inside of you, in your heart and your mind, when you see these girls 20 years, in 20 years? What do you expect, and how are you going to feel? Because they are going to be different, and for better.
Yes. Yes. Thank you for that question. So I would say most of my life, or all of my life, I've worked for girls and with girls. I believe this is my passion and this is my purpose, and this is why actually I joined Girl Move Academy, because I want to see girls have better lives. I want to see the difference and impact on the girls' lives. I think I will feel fulfilled. I already feel a lot in my heart that is filled, but I think that the realization or fulfillment or true deep fulfillment in one's life will come in 20 years, and I expect this. When I see that these girls have surpassed this barrier and they know that they are the best versions of themselves, I think it's going to be, once I see one of my girls, I just need to see one of them in 20 years, that it was a job well done, that the mark on the planet, the thing I was called upon to do on the planet is fulfilled.
When you are, because you go to so many countries and you inspire other people and you speak in lots of international conferences, did anybody, I think so, but did anybody ask you what those girls say to you in private?
Yes, I've been asked that a lot of times, of what do these girls actually say when they're in private. And I would like to share maybe something different, something that happened the last year with one of my girls. She asked me, what do I do actually? And I said, I'm a psychologist and I work with community empowerment. And she asked me, where else does a psychologist work? And I said, in the hospital. So she said, oh, so you are an assistant to a doctor. And I asked, what you mean? She said, you're his assistant to a man. Because women can't actually be someone leading a process or curing or helping other people. They can only assist. I heard this and this broke my heart because I realized that most of these girls don't have references of women being leaders or actually creating and affecting change. So in the end of the process, the same girl came to me and told me that now she understands what I meant every time I said that you're gonna be a leader. You can actually impact your life. You actually have the power to do things differently. So these girls, I see the change. I see the power of reference and the power of having someone that looks like them have a different life than they actually imagine. So in private, in the beginning, I see girls with no hope. I see girls that don't believe that they can be more than what they're living. And in the end of this process, I see girls that understand that a little change in your mentality, a little change in what you believe and what you do daily can change your whole life.
What do you think your next steps are going to be? I'm talking about Mozambique, but maybe not just only Mozambique, in other countries in Africa, or maybe in other countries in all around the world, because we have so many people in need of projects like yours.
Our next step, like I said, we created this year because to answer the challenge of COVID-19 and all of the other challenges, we created the Changemaker Lab. We know and we believe and we've seen the solutions. We've seen that this works. Our next challenge is to expand and share these solutions, share our methods, share that you don't have to work alone. You can have a group of girls who are, it doesn't depend, it doesn't matter the situation or context they're in. You can have a group of girls partner up with big companies, and you can have them partner up with vulnerable communities. You can have a group of any human being partner up and think together of our solutions. So our next challenge is to spread our solutions to the world and share, because what we want effectively is to see the world change. We want to see that there was impact and change in this world. So our next big step is, how do we take our solutions, how do we take our methods and expand and share and create a network all over the world?
Ilka, thank you so much for sharing with us your amazing experience, and thank you so much for the work you are doing, this amazing work. If I still have time, I will speak to you later, but now I'm going to call our second guest. She works on school platforms in Kenya to raise awareness of climate change and increase to green technologies. She is the founder and director of Conservation, an NGO working in clean energy, environmental education, and women empowerment. Unelker Maoga, welcome. Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us, Unelka. I know that we have been some kind of problems contacting you because it's not easy virtually talking, but I think now we can move on. So, Unelka, first of all, I would like for you to tell us what you do, what's your project, and talk a little bit about you also.
Okay. So first of all, thank you for the warm welcome. My name is Unelker Maoga. I am a community developer and a conservationist, and I work in the sustainable development of rural communities where we raise awareness about environmental stewardship. So I'd like to talk about conservation. This is our logo, and our logo is a tree. We believe that the best way to sustainably develop Africa is by making sure that our conservation practices are implemented in rural communities. We present a different perspective of conservation in Africa. So as young people, we are working to change the narrative of what conservation is and will be in the future of Africa. So conservation is a youth-led platform that demonstrates how action at the grassroots is tackling Africa's emerging problems where it matters most. Working with young people, we show them how to engage in conservation and sustainable development through role-based grassroots projects. The word conservation is derived from an indigenous language, and the word is Konza. Konza stands for the ambition to solve problems. So what we do is encourage young people to solve the problems that plague our communities and our livelihoods. We champion sustainable development through rural-based grassroots projects, and we also advocate for conservation practices. Our team at Conservation is youth-led. We have a leader on climate change education who runs our climate change education project. We have a leader who runs our women empowerment project, and her name is Sylvia. She runs the Inuka project. And Daniel Hollowed, who is based in Oxford University, runs our regenerative agriculture project. Our team is based in the west of Kenya. That's where all our projects are. And we're all young people under the age of 25. This is where we were based, in the southwest region of Kenya, which is found in East Africa. And we work primarily in rural communities with community members who have livelihoods dependent on natural resources. We have a total of 4 grassroots projects. The first grassroots project is on regenerative agriculture, where we seek to change the narrative for smallholder farmers. We have a project on climate change education, which raises awareness about climate change in school platforms. We have a project on women and energy, which increases access to clean energy technologies in homes that do not have access to electricity. And we have a women empowerment project, which is called our Inuka project, that provides employment to young women through social enterprise. So I'll briefly highlight our projects. The first project, which is our Women and Energy project, is based, as I said, in rural communities. We increase access to clean energy to homes that do not have electricity, and we do this through setting up solar system retail shops where women can come and buy these lamps. And we also supply these lamps to solar kiosks where women buy the lamps from our retail stores, and we sell them to their fellow women in the community and to other villagers. This is a photo of the women buying the lamps and now using them, and this has essentially reduced the amount of kerosene lamps which women use in their households, which are generally harmful to the health. Our other project is one on climate change education. We realize that climate change is set to affect the future of young farmers. We do our projects in school platforms where we teach the students about climate change science, mitigation and adaptation. And in a span of 2 years, we have raised awareness about climate change to over 6,000 students. Our project is led by young youth volunteers who teach the students in school platforms in rural communities. One of our other projects is our Inuka project. Our Inuka project is a project that addresses the problems of gender inequality and also provides decent work to young women who did not have opportunities to pursue tertiary level education. This project was stemmed out of our own social enterprise that makes natural cosmetics. We have employed over 60 women and have secured contracts for our products in 5 retail stores across the country. This is our social enterprise, which is called Infused Bath and Balms, where we produce all natural ingredient products for skin, hair, and these are contributing to a growing market of cosmetics. We aim to fight poverty. We train the women we work with. We promote a natural skincare line, and we hire women from marginalized communities who would not have access to funding to go to tertiary education or financing for their own livelihoods. This is a picture of a sample of our products, which we sell online and in various stores across the country. One of our other projects, which is one of our latest projects, is one of regenerative agriculture, where we raise awareness about food sovereignty within the community, because in Nyamira County, based in southwest Kenya, many farmers are involved in cash crop farming, such as tea. So through food sovereignty and environmental education, we raise awareness about alternative methods of farming that are environmentally friendly, and also empower farmers to farm what they want in their own farms, and also help them get access to markets for their own produce. We also have a volunteer program for young people willing to learn about sustainable development and get involved in grassroots projects on sustainable development. This is some of the partners we've managed to gather in the last 3 years. We are funded by National Geographic for our climate change projects and the Global Green Grants Fund. We partner with the Kenya Community Development Foundation to ensure that community development is impacted well and sustainable development is practiced well. Other partners include the Greenbelt Movement and the W Power Hub and Evermore Africa. Our journey as a grassroots project that is non-profit and led by a young African for Africans has been very interesting. We started by understanding our why we want to do what we want to do and why we want to work in rural communities. We had a vision for rural communities in Africa that we wanted them to develop sustainably while practicing conservation. We ideated through problem-based learning about what our projects would look like, and we looked for mentors who were able to carry our vision and to guide us in our journey. And we implemented the projects in short-term and long-term phases. I would like to end with a quote from Wangari Maathai, which says that the little grassroots people can change the world. As a young youth-led organization that is running our own projects and seeking for our own funding, we understand that the little impact we have in communities can have a domino effect and spill over to many other communities across the continent. Thank you.
Thank you, Unelker. Thank you so much for this explanation. And I notice in the photos that you show, there are something in common, because all the girls and women, they are smiling, and they are smiling a lot because they are happy. So what should they share with you?
As I mentioned, conservation aims to present a different perspective of conservation in Africa. And for the last 20 to 30 years, the narrative of Africa has been painted in a very negative light. But we understand that we have the solutions to some of the problems we face. And the people we work with are optimistic. The women you saw are vibrant, and they understand that they can implement change. And I believe that the photos you saw of them smiling is evidence that the next few years, if Africans are willing to get involved in implementing change on their own, the next few years are positive and hopeful.
Thank you so much, Unelker, for sharing with us your experience. Now, if I have time, I will speak with you later again. Stay there, please. But now I am going to try to reach, yes, there she is, our other guest. She's Audrey Maatchi. Good morning, Audrey. She works in Côte d'Ivoire. She is passionate about sustainable agriculture, and she has an ecological project. Her idea is to add value to banana sticks for the production of biodegradable bags. Hello, Audrey. Thank you so much for joining us. I know that you are trying to talk with us since we start this conversation, but we are having some problems. But now you're here, and that's what matters. So, Audrey, we all want to know who you are and what you do.
Okay, thank you, Katrina, for giving me the floor. I would like each of us to leave this panel with one question in mind. Why challenging my daily consumption and production behaviors to more sustainable ones is the first step to achieve sustainability. So this is the question that I want each of us to leave to have in mind when we will end this panel. And it is essential to emphasize on the I to bring out the individual responsibility of you, of me, and of each of us. You know, our generation is without a doubt the one with a proven track record in technoscience. Over time, men endowed with an unparalleled intelligence has developed a mechanism to survive, but above all, to make his life easy and enjoyable. Every minute we find new solution to feed ourselves, to move, to enjoy our life in to the fullest. Naturally, since we produce, then we must consume. So here is the fact. At this very moment, 64 tons of waste are being injected into our environment, and this is repeated every second that passes. So by the time I will finish my speech, 98,000 tons of waste will be contaminating one of the apples I'm going to eat tonight at dinner. You know, I love apple as a fruit and wonder if the farmer's quote, an apple a day keeps the doctor away, is still on track. Because by the time you will take the speech again, Katrina, another 230,000 tons of garbage will be polluting our waterways, some of it ingested by the sardines I had for lunch earlier. Let me sense some of us releasing sight of relief. You are probably thinking, good thing, I don't eat apples or fish. I'm spared of the pollution she's talking about. But I'm afraid that if you breathe, then you are all in the same boat because few weeks ago, a Cameroonian organization informed us that the air pollution rate in the country, selected in 2020 as the country of sustainable development, is really going to the wrong direction. You just breathe, right? Then we are as concerned as any of us. You will excuse me not to talk today about the specific work we are doing to produce bags with banana leaves because for us today, the essential point is to understand our whole as an individual in protecting the environment through sustainable consumption and production behaviors. So, the on our mind at this point is how to stop inhaling tons of waste with every breath, every mouthful of a delicious sardines, right? How can we balance things in order to reduce the pressure on our planet, on our health? The answer is obvious, isn't it? We just have to stop throwing 40,000 tons of waste into our environment every second, and the problem is solved. But how can we do this since we have developed consumption and production habits that are ingrained? How do we change this habit? It's simple. We just need to rethink the way we consume. Simply by looking around and choose more sustainable production patterns. The thing is that, and to do so, we need new skills, values, and attitude. But how do we acquire these values? No other way than to educate ourselves. Indeed, Einstein pointed it out. We can't solve a problem with the ways of thinking that created it. And Nelson Mandela put it so well: education is the most powerful weapon that can be used to change the world. And I come to you with a great news because education works. This is confirmed by a study of PricewaterhouseCoopers. This company conducted a study in which it organized a number of one-hour interactive courses with students on sustainable development goals. And the end up result was that 78% of the children that took the course said they now felt more comfortable talking about SDGs outside of school. And 92% of them said they were more concerned about social and environmental issues after learning about SDGs. So, I will end my speech by saying that it is undeniable that we have only one Earth. There is no planet B. Our Earth and our planet are the most important assets we have been given to live fully. This is why they must be preserved for us, for our children, and for the generations to come. It is about you. It is about me. It is about all of us. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Audrey, for your inspiring words and for warning us. And I think all of us here are thinking now. But we are running out of our time. I can't make you questions, but don't need questions after this speech. But I want just to finish with a sentence, your sentence, some time ago, and it's really touching because you said, because tomorrow has its own challenges, if you can breathe, then start using less plastic today. Thank you so much for this. Thank you, Audrey.
Thank you to you, Katrina. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. So our time is running out. It's after 1 p.m. I know we all want to lunch. But before I finish, I want to say one important thing. A man with 94 years old said recently that humankind needs wisdom. So wisdom is the key word for Sir David Attenborough. We can't forget that we are all connected. We should stay at the same side, the side of nature, and not working against nature. And we should remember that we are all Planetiers. Thank you so much. It has been an honor being here with you today. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of the day.